Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 1, Manchester City 3. Before we get into it, this video is sponsored by The Athletic. The Athletic, who currently have some of the best writers in the world. They also have dedicated Everton writers such as Greg O'Keefe and Paddy Boyland. Make sure you check them out. Some great articles on their Everton
Best
focus.
coverage of the club anyway.
It is, but well, almost the best.
No
ads, no pop-ups. What more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? We've also got Paddy Boyland in this week as well. To get more on that, click the link in the description below. You get a free 30-day trial, and then you get 50% off your yearly subscription with The Athletic. The link is in the description. Click it. Check it out. See if you like it. Joined by Mike, who's one of our patrons, been in before. He was hugging a cushion all the way through last time.
That cushion has been through therapy. Put it down. Put it down. We'll meet again.
I think Mike thinks he's come in for therapy.
I have.
I have. Mike, another defeat. Everton's 4th defeat in the last 5 Premier League games, which doesn't make for
sounds nicer.
Doesn't make for good reading, does it? And I suppose 3 of the last 4 Evertonians would have expected much better. The weekend was probably a little bit more of a free hit, if there is any, but still a defeat, and it still hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think, what you said there, obviously in isolation, the game, the performance not too bad. A big improvement on what we'd seen previously, but it wasn't hard, was it? The starting position to improve on. We had a bit of fight, a bit of battle, but that's the minimum expectation I would have out of any Everton team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an improvement. Results still, unfortunately, not gone our way. But it's the ones before that have really...
That have depressed you, basically.
Yeah.
Ped, I mean, the team at the weekend was... it had one big surprise in it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, we're led to believe that there was a bug going through the team. There was no Bernard. Iwobi apparently was suffering. Dean was suffering. I mean, that must be hard, that. And I know that I think there is sounds stupid, there is a bug going round. It's like anytime one season changes to another, there always seems to be a bug. And if it gets into a football club, even though football is like highly tuned, if it gets into the dressing room, then you're gonna be in for a struggle. And that's not just the players, I suppose, who were sick. It's everyone. And I'm not making excuses, by the way. It can, it's like
that'll become clear.
No, but it's definitely. No, but you know what it's like if people are sick. They the energy levels are not always there, are they? Yeah. But seeing Theo Walcott on in the team was massively surprising, and I can't think it could be for any other reason that players were sick, because he hasn't really done anything to warrant a start. When he's coming off the bench, he's done nothing. The rest of the team sort of pretty much picked itself, didn't it? We knew Don was going to start after the Sheffield Wednesday performance, and there wasn't really anyone else, was there? That in terms of changes. So, no, I was. You can't. What can you pick? You see a team when you're in a bit of a rut. You see a team, you just go whatever. You're not sitting there going, oh well, he should be. You just like whatever, and that's the main thing, isn't it? The performances. When you just say Villa, Bournemouth, and obviously Sheffield United, you just sit there going, what the hell? What is, and Saturday night, perfect. I like five kickoffs on a Saturday night. I think they're good, especially this time of year when you get the floodlights and everything. And I think that helped Everton, it helped the fans, maybe a couple of more beers in the concourses for the fans or in the Winslow or whatever. So, and ultimately it was just one of those games where the quality of the Premier League champions has been too much for us, but much improved. But
I mean, the game started, they got on the ball, and then before we knew it, Walcott was stretched off, which it was bad because he got it in the side of the temple. And I've seen people around me going, "It's only been hit with a ball." I was like, being hit with a ball at pace on the side of the temple, which is very dangerous. And obviously when you're not having a good time, like Walcott isn't, stuff like this, is mad. So Everton were forced into a change. Alex Iwobi come on, and you could see that he wasn't up to his normal. He's been quite good really since we've signed him. Saturday, I thought he was all right, but there was times when he just looked like he couldn't run, looked like his legs were gone. But City they were on it immediately, weren't they? De Bruyne, prompting and probing, put a fantastic ball into Mahrez. They hit the bar within about 2 minutes. Gundogan, I don't know how he missed, to be honest, but they showed their quality immediately, didn't they?
Yeah, they imposed themselves on the game, didn't they, straight away, which obviously with our set lineup that we had as well, we were sort of expecting us to sit in. But I think when you're sitting in and you're inviting teams on, you've got to really condense the space. And I don't know, I thought we made it a little bit easy still for them early doors. The Walcott one, the irony was it's one of the few times someone's actually gone out to close a cross down, because we normally just let them fire them into the box. So fair play to him at least going out. And I think part of why he was in potentially was the work rate side of it.
And because everyone else had the shit.
And that as well. And to be fair, when Iwobi come on, you could see why as well, couldn't you? Obviously, you didn't look 100%.
Also, I mean, the manager did come out and said there was a tactical reason, but obviously we won't know there was a tactical reason for Walcott being in the team. We won't know, and I don't know what that tactical reason would be. First 20 minutes, I barely watched the game. No, I mean, I don't mean that like I wasn't watching the game, but you know when you just mind.
You weren't invested in
it. Your mind just drifts because you're watching countless attacks by the opposition, or countless possession. And I wouldn't say that was Everton's fault as such. You're playing against a team that Man City do this when they have defeats. It like switches them on. And when they got beaten at Norwich, it like completely switched them on. And then they go and beat Watford 8-0.
Shakhtar 3-0.
Shakhtar, then Preston with like embryos playing centre back for them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They were honestly, that's like they had like two 18-year-olds playing centre back for them. So very switched on. You can see that when Pep has to like crack the whip, it's just, and you could see that from the start. It was like get this game. It was like 2 seasons ago, or was it 2 seasons ago? Yeah, when we had Allardyce, and it was like you could see them get this game finished by half time. We don't want any complications here. Get this game finished, and you could see that. And obviously they took the lead. De Bruyne's ball was just ridiculous. Although Michael Keane and Seamus Coleman, I don't know what I don't know what they're doing. I mean, no, and I don't mean that in like I don't know what are you doing. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're that deep. I don't know and it must be really hard. That ball comes from nowhere. It's sublime. No one else on earth is looking at that pass. Nobody. Only De Bruyne sees that. And then I suppose going behind and then not necessarily keep coming on. Just sort of a couple of people looked around and went, "We can have a go here." And we did. I mean, we weren't too bad after that. It's probably the nicest thing I can say.
I spent the first 20 minutes just watching how you play against a team that is sitting so deep. Having watched us try to do it the week before. And what they do brilliantly is they move the ball quickly and they all move with it. And the biggest difference, obviously, in terms of quality, take the quality out of it for a minute. The biggest difference they have is they have so many runners. No, even Gundogan, even Rodri was on the edge of the box. When Everton do it, our 2 midfielders are in the D, in the centre circle. They don't commit anyone forward. Like against Sheffield United, Delph and Schneiderlin basically held hands in the semicircle, in their half. And then there was a big space. So Sheffield United just put the low block in place. Gylfi doesn't move enough. He always wants the ball to give like almost a wall pass. And we didn't do that. Where City play so high on you. Their midfielder breaking.
They isolate you, don't they?
And Fernandinho is just unbelievable.
What I thought they were brilliant at was saying about sitting deep, but they isolated Dom from the rest of the team most of the time. And what was that interesting about them was the amount of times they were prepared to go long as well. They were playing diagonals. But the way they play is incredible, and this has got to be a lesson to Everton going forward. Is their fullbacks are wingers. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And then Gundogan kept on dropping in to make a third centre back, or would take the ball off the centre backs. And then when they're going through the middle, it means that the amount of times Dean and Coleman were narrow was incredible. So that leaves all that space. And essentially, just do that with your team. They pull you in and pull you out and pull you in and pull you out. And you don't know where to go. And that creates, every time they do that and then do that, space just gets opened up all over the pitch. And the amount of times, certainly in the first half, they were going diagonal and getting getting Kyle Walker in, and on the other side getting Zinchenko on the other side. And it's really difficult. You can see that with the goal he actually scored. Seamus Coleman is so narrow because he's followed his man into the box. And you can see that all game, just the way they open the space. And you're right, they push the men on and sit on. But that comes on, listen, that not everyone can do that. It comes from having players that the ball gets fired on them and it's like they've already controlled it and looked up and played a pass. Yeah. Whereas our players would still be wondering what, because it's in the training, it's in the coaching, isn't it? It's clearly drilled into them every single day. And what you look at our players, and you know, there's a difference in quality, of course, massive quality. But you look at coaching as well, and there's a difference in, and that's not digging Silver in. That's looking at their manager and saying they've got like the best in the world, and he just must drill and drill and drill and drill at what they do. But that's for me. If you're going to be a football team, why not look at the best and say, I want to be that? Why not do that? To me, the way their fullbacks play is got to be the way. And this is no when I have a go at Seamus Coleman or not have a go at Seamus Coleman. I did me play at Aitons and people give me loads of grief about it. Not high enough about Seamus Coleman. Seamus Coleman trying a little bit harder. And we'll come on to his stats in a minute. But him trying a little bit harder, not trying a little bit harder, but working a little bit harder or whatever, to me, is not the problem. The problem is that he can't play that role anymore that they played, the way they played, where their fullbacks were just the wingers, aren't they? Yeah. And we need to bring in a right back who can do that, who can play so far ahead, but then that needs a centre midfielder who can do the job as well, and a creative midfielder who can do the job as well. So it's not just about saying, oh, you need fullbacks who can play high up. It's the whole thing, and they were terrific to watch. I
mean, their average position.
I mean, the camera can't see that.
No, I'm just showing you how high they are, what their average positions are, which is just so high up the pitch. They stretch the play. You look at how the fullbacks are on the touchline when they receive the ball. Yeah. They spread the game out. We didn't do that particularly because it was just like a comparison for me. In that opening 20 minutes, 25 minutes was a lesson in how you play against a team that's trying to make it difficult for you to play. Because we almost played 4-5-1. We left Dom isolated on his own because we had to work hard. Richarlison was incredible in terms of his work rate. He wasn't brilliant the other way. He put a shift in, but I think he had 7 tackles or 8 tackles, 8 ball recoveries, won 6 out of 7 tackles. But all around our penalty area, which shows you how hard they actually work. And we had to, but they're great at just moving it, and then someone like De Bruyne will throw that ball in like he did, and Jesus, who scores against us every year with a header, was there again. And listen, people telling me that they didn't have the best 3 players. Well, you've got a front 3 of Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling with Kevin De Bruyne behind.
Doing too bad,
They're not mugs, are they? You know, and he was there to stoop it in. But you're right, why is he in between our centre-back and our right-back? Why have none of them gone in with it? It was too good a ball. I don't think the keeper could really deal with it because it was in that quickly. He put the same ball in last week against Watford after 25 seconds and he scored. And we surely have been looking at that all week, him in them areas, putting balls in. So why have we switched off? Because I think they have. I think Coleman and Keane switched off.
Yeah. I think for me, we mentioned it before off camera, but Keane's literally touch tight to Jesus. The ball comes in, Jesus reacts to it. I don't understand why Keane doesn't. I understand. Again, obviously, it's working off the training ground.
Yeah, that's it.
It's great.
So I get that, but 1 minute you're touching a striker and the next seconds later it's behind you.
Keane doesn't know that ball's in the box till it's in the net.
Yeah, and that's
a
bit of a worry, isn't it?
That's the difference, isn't it?
A free header in the 6-yard
box.
box.
That's the difference. We know, as you said, they will be working on that in training. That doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen at all by accident.
No. They're a wonderful team. They're the best Premier League team I've ever seen in terms of doing. They're not as good as his Barcelona team because they had Messi things and they had Iniesta. But as a Premier League model, they're like Barcelona light almost. They're absolutely fantastic. And whichever way they mix it up, whether David Silva plays up Bernardo, it's all the same. I watched them large parts of the game at Preston the other night when the embryos were playing, like you said, and they were just the same. They were the same, no matter what.
Something you've just said there is really important about. It's all about levels, isn't it? We played Sheffield United last week, and we should be winning those games. Sheffield United fans have said that's the worst we've played this season.
The manager said it.
And we've just said there, City are coming at us from all different angles. They're going long, they're getting it wide, they're going through the middle. No, and what do? We just put 42 crosses in without our best header of the ball, one of the best in the world,
Last
called
week,
Pep.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
He did.
Right.
I know, he did.
So,
you said
there's
Sigurdsson was causing
no,
problems.
that's the difference though, isn't it? There's no
variation.
Yeah, variation in the play. It's all the same tactic again, and you're just banging your head against the wall because
it's easy to defend against us.
It is, especially if you've done it 4 or 5 times, and you've done it 4 or 5 times, you'll build the confidence, and that's where again Everton have to the players start have to look at themselves, and the manager starts start demanding more out of some of the. If you say Kevin De Bruyne is there Sigurdsson, then oh my God, Sigurdsson might as well just retire. Well, he might as well just retire because if that's the work rate that you've got to put into playing that position, the fact that you can play that or you can give the ball away, and then suddenly get back into your shape, because that's another thing that I think is absolutely fantastic about City is
how hard
when they haven't got the ball, watch how quickly. And this was illustrated by, and I said this in my video after the match, was when Coleman in the second half went down the right and shrugged off Sterling a couple of times, and then he slowed down and Sterling nicked the ball and it went out for a corner. And it wasn't like he wasn't giving up on it. And I've seen that so many times. Mahrez was worked hard. Everyone worked hard for them. And again, that shows you that to be the best, you've got to work hard.
If everyone would have put the level in what Richarlison puts in for us, work rate, we'd be sound.
But that's what's concerning though, isn't it? If you think weeks gone by, like you say, take this game away from it for a second. If you're looking at like the Sheffield United game, we've been out tactically manoeuvred by a manager who's been managing in the Championship. He wanted to force us out wide, and guess what? We just went out wide. That was the problem. You're looking at it and you think, City pick up the ball, they've got a multitude of options. They've got out wide, they've got runners based, and they can go forward. Obviously, they can knock it back if they need to and start again, which they never really have to. We get the ball, and like you say, your 2 centre mids are that deep, and they don't want to carry the ball, and it's just there's no options.
We did play some nice football at times though on Saturday because they let us because they're open, so we were able to sometimes exploit them, and we did knock it round well. And we demonstrated that we are a good footballing side. We've got no dynamism in the middle of the park, and that to me is a massive issue. It's a massive issue. Morgan Schneiderlin, I thought he had a good game doing what he does, which is sitting and protecting. I don't think he'd done anything wrong. I thought Fabian Delph was excellent doing what he does, but it does nothing going that way from them. So they do the job well. You couldn't have said to either of those 2 lads in midfield, you haven't performed today, because they've done probably what was asked of them.
I agree with that.
But that doesn't necessarily mean it helps us as a team. That was how I saw it.
No, I agree. And again, that comes down to personnel. I think we're lacking. We started the season looking all right at the back, and Keane and Mina were looking all right. But I think the issue that people have expressed has started rearing its head, and it's the simple fact is, without that pace at the back, we don't feel like we can push on. And again, looking more at last week, playing Snyder last week is criminal. As far as I'm concerned, absolutely criminal. But it's the manager thinking, I need that extra protection. If you've got a centre back with pace, you don't need that extra protection because you've got the, doesn't matter. I mean, it does obviously matter how good they are, but if you've got the pace, you've got the insurance. Yeah. And City showed how to play just a variation of the game and to be free. You can see that with them because they've got all the players and the right players in all the right positions. They're freer to play their game and they do leave it open for you. And this is why we play better against teams that make it want to come and play, and it's why we struggle against the lesser teams. For me,
yeah, but it is.
When we're gonna have to get through that problem because
that's the issue. Yeah.
You can't keep saying, well, we're missing this player and that player and that player. We didn't buy that, but you can't do that. Yeah. The window's shut. The players we've got. You've got to work out something that works. If you have to bring Holgate in and drop Keane, then you've got to do it. If you have to, when you're playing at home against teams you should be beating, you have to play with only one holding midfielder and say to a Tom Davis, or if Gomez is back, you've got to start asserting yourself. If you've got to drop Sigurdsson, you've got to drop Sigurdsson. This is where the manager's got to start making decisions that prove if he's the right man. That's it, isn't it?
Let's come on to the manager in a bit. We got back in the game. I thought, you're both right. Once we went behind, it was almost like, well, that's shackles off. It's like, right, well, they've done it now. What we feared, they've done. The 1-0 up. They relaxed a little bit, I think, because they probably thought, right, these aren't confident. But I thought the crowd got engaged a bit then, and Coleman went round about 9 men in our half.
A couple of tackles, wasn't it?
And we had a couple of tackles, and it got a little bit up a little, and Mina was arguing with Stitt and things like that. And we started getting a little bit of joy. We got in a couple of times, and they got important blocks in. And then that gave you that little feeling that, you know what, we actually might get something here from it, you know, or we can get ourselves back in it. And Coleman, Iwobi done brilliant, chasing into the box, got a little touch. Coleman's chip over the keeper's beautiful.
To be fair, Sigurdsson does put...
Sigurdsson put a ball in that they don't deal with.
A poor man's version of De Bruyne's cross, but he still puts
it
first time, puts it in.
But that should be going in all the time. Henderson does it for them, just to switch that ball in.
We have men in the box for the change.
We have got men in the box for the change. Iwobi picks the loose ball up, prods it off to Coleman, he does great, and Dom heads it in. And at first, I didn't want to celebrate too much.
I was VAR.
They had their arms up.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, why have you headed it? Because it was going in. But it was important he headed it, because the lads running back would have gone for it. Absolutely, and it may have got there, I don't know. But I'm made up that Dom headed it in. That's what and I know some people were like, should have let Coleman have the goal. And you're like, what? No. Get your sense. Coleman doesn't need a goal. He's a defender. Assists are just as good. Dominic needs goals. Our strikers need to score. And I was made up, he followed it in, and he done well.
Habits. You want him to get into those habits, don't you? You can't moan all the time, he's never in the position. And then he gets in the position, and then well, that's true. In the last 2 games, he scored inside the 6-yard box, where I've criticised him, because he never is. So I'm delighted, you know, and they done the VAR check and all that, but I think they knew, you know, and he was miles on side. He was well on side. So 1-1, and then we had an opportunity straight after it. Iwobi plays it. Absolute marvellous. If De Bruyne would have played it, they'd have gone on about it, because he didn't look, clipped it in, and Gylfi should have. It was a great run. He should have just prodded it goalwards.
I thought he should have just headed it upwards. I thought if he'd headed it up and over the keeper wouldn't have seen it coming. But I just don't, when you're on the stretch, you are on the...
But even helping it goal, I think he tried to pull it down. I think if he'd have just gone...
That's why I thought he should have just headed it over him.
Yeah, no,
bit of something, no, like just a bit of something.
Should have just got an attempt at goal. He tried to control it, it went behind him, and it was... But that gave us a little bit of... You know, we
felt like we could get at them.
You know, so we went in at half-time. They were clapped off this week, which shows that the fans appreciate when you have a go. Came out for the second half. They got on top a little bit the first 5 or 10 minutes, but then I thought after that, we were right back in the game, and we've had that Yerry Mina header, which I was saying to you, Mike, before off camera, when I've watched it again a few times, he doesn't think he's getting it. 2 players jump in front of him, and it comes over, and he just reacts, and it's a brilliant save, but it's one of them that if things are turning your way a little bit, that hits him on the side, and it was a bit like that Ashley Williams header against Arsenal years ago, you know, when it comes in and it hits him and it's down and it's up into the net, and the keeper can't do nothing about it. It was a really good save, but I think that gave us that boost then of, like, you know...
Isn't it great to see that, certainly in this game, we started using that set piece all the time?
He won every
like, it's interesting to say, no, like when you're watching, you go and you see someone doing something right and they stop doing it. Was in this game, it's like, no, we're just going to continue to try to Yerry Mina. They can't stop that. You know, you're absolutely right on that one. He didn't see, you know, he didn't see it coming. But if it's one of them again. When you look in, it goes where you want.
He gets a really good contact on it, which is actually to the detriment of it, isn't it?
If it had just skinned and it was in, because the keeper didn't realise it either. It was a great save reaction, but if that goes 2 foot either side, it's a goal.
And he's obviously got the other one later on, hasn't he? So.
And again, showing that, you know, like I've just said, he had 3 attacking headers. He won every one in the box this week, which was a big thing. And then we had a little bit of a flurry, and they were getting blocks in. They were prompting and probing, but you know, he's had to bring his 3 kingpins off the bench, hasn't he, to win the game. You know, coming towards the last 25 minutes, it's 1-1. You're going, we're in this. You know, it wasn't like we were hanging on. Pickford wasn't having to make all kinds of saves.
That's after the whole game.
Yeah. But ultimately, you know, they have a little, like a lucky... I mean, Raheem Sterling misses a great chance. But even that was lucky. Mina steps out, plays it, it hits a Iwobi's heel and comes back, and then it's a great ball through, and he should have scored, Sterling. who for some reason people were booing, but I don't know why they booed.
And
he walked out on them, said I've left to win trophies. That they think they're bigger than they are. When someone says all that, we should be loving him.
I don't get that.
You know, and he's actually brilliant. And all the shite he's had to go through, and he's still what a marvellous footballer. I think he's great.
And he runs like Scooby-Doo.
He runs like he's in Scooby-Doo.
You've got to appreciate a player.
He's a toddler in a nappy. That's how he runs.
That.
If you can't get on board with that.
Look, know what though, right? Can we appreciate though? And this again, if we're looking for things, if you want to look to be the best team, this is a team that plays 3 up front, and they are 3 up front. When people say 4-3-3,
they are.
You can say they're top. It's funny, isn't it? The 2 best teams in the league.
I mean, really, they play like two at the back, don't they?
No, but you look at the 2 best teams in the league. Both of them play 2 at the back. With 3 screening and 3 up front. And yet we're arsing about with this formation. That because he says he hasn't got the players. But if we're gonna listen.
No, I'm gonna come on.
I do not mind ripping into this manager.
I know, but I want to have a proper chat in a bit about Marco Silva and about tactics and all that. But you're right, the way they play is brilliant. But we will go back onto that. We then give a free kick away,
which wasn't a free kick.
Which I don't think it was a free. The lads looked for it. And he not only did he
didn't even have to try.
But at what point do you say, well, are we just going to say don't even try and tackle because it could be a foul?
He got booked for it as well, though. He got booked for it, which is just absolute nonsense.
VAR, you man. That's what I say.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to argue against. But they get that free kick and Mahrez hits it. You know, there's question marks. Were they a metre away from the wall? I don't think they were.
No, but they weren't in the wall.
But they've got to be a metre away.
No, I know. Isn't it though? Let's just clear this up, isn't it? Yeah. They
can't be in the wall.
They had their own wall.
Yeah, they screened it.
And he'd already
broke. But anyway, Delph I think could have done a bit better, but you did say he was unsighted and all that. But it's gone to Pickford's side where he is. Now, when he hit it, I thought he'd saved it. Because where I'm sat, I thought he'll get... Because as you look at it, your keeper's there, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then it hits the net and you go, well, maybe he just didn't see that. But when I've seen it again... I think he's got to save it.
Absolutely.
I'm not a goalie.
It's not even...
but I think he should save it.
It's not even a debate. He should save it. I'm not having anyone who said he should not... It is... He should save it.
Do you remember...
We've had this conversation before.
Do you remember the last game of the season?
4 times he's done this.
But the last game of the season, Ericsson, free kick, went where his hand was. And he reacted slightly late on it the weekend.
He's done this goalkeeper. 4 times I think he's been beaten by free kicks on his side, right? You set a wall up, right? And I think I said this exactly the same thing last time. You set a wall up, it's your wall, you've put it in place. If that like clips it over and it goes top bin, then you just have to go.
Hold your hands up.
That's a great
right?
thing,
Your job is to protect your side, and you've got no other job. And yet you watch his movement. He always takes the half step the other way.
Yeah.
Always
Did
takes
he take the half step?
Well, it's not even a half step. I'm pretty sure he's leaning the wrong way, and it instantly leaves him so he can't get over. Whereas he should just stand there by the post and say, "Beat me, lad," because that's all Mahrez ever does is take free kicks like that. I can't remember too many for City that he always goes keeper's side. It's his little party trick, and the keeper there.
He's banking on the keeper.
Exactly. You're saying,
clever.
You're saying I'm good enough, aren't you? But you've got your goalkeeper has got to be prepared to just say, that's my wall. If you beat it, so be it. You should never be beaten on your side ever. Really. And he's been beaten, I think, 4 times now for Everton. And so therefore, the coaches have got to grab hold of him and say, this can't continue. You need to trust your wall. If no one's ever going to start, when we're watching Luca Dean smash one in top corner, no one ever goes, well, look, the wall was wrong. They go, that's a magnificent free kick. You've just got to hold your hands up. If it's good enough to beat the wall, then it's a good free kick. But as soon as it goes to the other side, there's only one person to blame, and that's the goalkeeper. That's totally agree. One job, lad.
The thing I disagree with there is, when his starting position, he actually doesn't lean. I've watched it a few times. That makes it even worse.
Well, that makes it worse then.
It makes it even worse.
Maybe
and then the second one, it bounces, it goes under his hand.
Like Neo.
He actually does he gets there.
He gets there, yeah. No, but that's why I was surprised, because he was there.
Yeah,
it wasn't like he couldn't get, because at first I thought maybe he just couldn't get it across. It's that perfect. But when I see it again, it goes here, under his arm.
It sounds stupid, but he's he's not concentrating and he's not thinking, I am fully invested in going to my right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it is the leaners in his mind, like Neo. He's bending spoons. No, but it is though. He's almost it's like, he's thinking, I'm going to go that way. Whereas, at times, some goalkeepers, and Nev used to be great at this, was that they just knew, like, just knew where the ball was going to go. Like,
it's being able to...
Do you know what I mean? Like, like you're being able to predict.
It's being able to predict, but it's also being able to react.
Yeah.
So some goalies will go, right, Never'd wait, and he'd go. I mean, I made them... I've said this loads of times, but I made this save from Greg Downs years ago for Coventry, and Greg Downs put his arms up because he did the free kick, and Southall come from nowhere, and he's only reacted when the ball's been hit. He hasn't guessed, because where Greg Downs hit it, he couldn't have saved it. He leathered it, put his arms up because it was in, and Southall's arms come across, reacted.
Yeah.
And you see keepers guessing and going, well, I'm going to dive this way, and then
that's
you've got to be able to... That's what you see those goalie drills where they're whacking things and they're reacting. He's got to react. And
but in that instance, though, I want him to guess a little bit, though. I want him to know that it's only going to go one...
I think...
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I would say... I mean,
it's only
I used to play a bit in goal, and my lad plays in goal.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not a goalie.
So, in that situation, the first and fundamental thing is, you do not get beat on that side.
That's it.
So
it's like the old near post thing, isn't it?
So, regardless of thinking where Maris is going, irrelevant, I'm not getting beat there.
Yeah.
As it comes over the wall, if he's going the opposite corner, as it's going over, that's when your reactions come into play.
Yeah.
If you get there, great. If you don't, exactly what you just go fair play.
Yeah, it's in it.
But you do not get beat there. So when my lad's playing Owen, I always say to him, the near post, your post.
You just smash the ball at your kid, don't
you?
I
do, It's Everton anger. I've got to get it out on something, haven't I? You know what I mean? Get in goal, bang, bang. But
not even a goalie, Dad. I know.
But I said to you off camera. Yeah. So the first few minutes when that first cross comes across and he goes for it with his legs, I mean, lad who's 7 said he's not had it today.
Oh.
I mean, I just... And you can tell, some days with Pickford, if he's on it, he's absolutely superb. If he's mentally not on it, he's a car crash.
Why isn't he on it? Why isn't he on it? It's Manchester City, but in a bad run of form. Why is he not on it?
I think when he's... It sounds, but when he's not on it, it's him thinking he's on it. In as much as...
I know what you mean.
Is it arrogance?
Almost. But he thinks, I've got to do more than he actually has to do. Just do the basics, the fundamentals well, and let everything else happen out, play out in front of you. And that's where, at the end, and he comes out and someone's pressed Y on the Alfifa, and he's gone.
You're an Xbox player, aren't you?
Yeah. No, Switch.
Oh, Switch.
Switch. Me little lad, Switch.
Triangle to us.
I don't really.
Don't even know what
triangle when the goals come off.
It's not even FIFA. To be honest, I don't even know. If you want to play children's games, you play children's games. We play grown-up football games. Badly, I mean,
not badly.
But
we play PES. Like remember Les Dawson?
You play PES like Marco Silva managing Everton. Let's get it out wide. Anyway,
criticism I'll take.
We'll have to accept it.
I mean, I can't.
Pay in public. You've got to accept it.
He brought Jaffa mini rolls.
Yes, there's
nothing
one there
I
if you
can
don't. Yours. But
No,
okay, it went in.
Yeah.
We all went, okay, a little bit of a flat feeling because I
It's reality.
don't think, though, that they could make a great case for being 2-1 up at that stage. I really don't. I think the game was swinging either way. We weren't hanging on at all. They had a lot of the ball. They weren't doing anything with it.
No, we weren't hanging on. I think at that stage, a draw's probably...
It was looking. There was 20 minutes to go. It was 1-1. We'd made changes. They had... We get a chance almost.
Can I just say one thing? Right, I felt a little bit for Silva there because he was trying to bring Keane on at 1-1.
Yeah.
And it looked like he brought him on reactive, but he didn't. He was trying to bring him on at 1-1. He was trying to, and I'm the first to have a moan at Silva, but he was trying to bring him on. So just want to clear that.
Would have been a proactive sub, wouldn't it? Yeah. But it goes in. Keane comes on anyway. We get at them, and then we have a great bit of football. Lovely bit of play. Richarlison on the wing, good little move, cut, plays it into Sigurdsson. It's a brilliant reverse ball to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And for me, as good as Dom was, and he was really good at the weekend, he should have scored. 1-on-1 with Ederson, the keeper's laying down, and he tries to stab it almost over him instead of just dinking it over him. Do you know what? He gives him the opportunity. Coleman showed in the first half what you do. You just go and you dink it, and because he comes sliding out to make himself big, Ederson, lift it, and Dom as it hits him and it hits the keeper, where I'm sat in the upper Bullens and hoping it's going to drop into the net, and it drops wide, and you think that was a massive moment for us, and he's got to score there, hasn't he?
He's got to score. I mean, he's 3-1, and like you said, the goalie's made his mind up, so he's committed. Everything's done. Just thinking, but he's not that type of player. He's not calm enough, is he? In those situations,
it goes with the wrong foot, doesn't he? It should have been left foot. He went with right foot.
Well, he stabs it.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If he goes left foot, then it's more. Because he has stabbed, he's got less control.
No, he has
over
got less control.
So he's gone with the wrong foot.
I don't think he's good.
And because he's gone with his right, he's gone with his right, it's always veering away from goal. Whereas if you hit it with your left, it's more coming inside. So he's gone with the wrong foot. I don't know what difference the keeper touching it would have made on it.
I think it's going in.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go
it's
in.
definitely going in, yeah.
He missed the same one at Fulham last year. The same thing. He goes at the outside of his foot.
We know what he is and what he isn't. This is an argument I do not understand with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We do not have another centre back another centre forward at the club at the moment.
We don't have another centre back either.
No, we haven't got another centre back. Don't play centre back. I don't know. It's the argument is we need to buy a centre forward who gives us guaranteed goals. That's the argument. I don't see where you can. We've had this so many times. I don't know where you can argue about a player when there aren't other players. Moise Keane certainly does not look anywhere near ready. He just doesn't look ready.
He's good to come off the bench.
He's a centre forward. He will score goals.
But he doesn't look anywhere near ready to play on his own up front. No, I totally agree with you on Dom, but I don't get this argument where people are like ripping into a player when there aren't any other options. Cenk Tosun can't play the role. Managers didn't even put him on the bench sometimes. Dom's got so much to learn. Will he ever learn it? I don't know. But the only option for me, for Everton, is to go out and buy a top-class centre-forward. That really is the only option. Someone who guarantees you goals, who I don't know, but you've got that's
it. The thing is, he should have scored.
Yeah,
he should have scored.
And the story doesn't matter whether he's gonna get there, he's not gonna get there. He's the right man, he's the wrong man.
The right finish in that position.
Exactly.
So you can.
So he's got to hold his hand. I actually thought he was brilliant at the weekend. I thought he caused them problems. He worked hard. He gave them something to think about. We didn't use him enough, I don't think. To be fair, if there's a criticism on them, we used him enough. But it's still not going to stop me saying it was a sitter because he should have scored it. Regardless of whether his ability is 1 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, it was a chance and it was a big moment. Ederson makes the save, goes out for a corner comes in. Yerry Mina has a brilliant header. It's a brilliant save by Ederson. It's right in the corner. And then comes out to Dom and he can't, unfortunately, I wouldn't blame him for it. He couldn't get his leg round it because it come at him so quick and it's behind him.
Again, no, if you're going to go glass half full, at least Dom was following it in.
Yeah, he was in there
in
the right
wasn't
area.
Doing.
That's
like
better.
if you look at him, he has progressed over the course of
the
thing
last few months. All he had to do, he come on big time last season, and then this season, the challenge for him now is doing what he did with the first goal, scoring that goal, getting in the 6-yard box. He's missed a great chance. Strikers miss chances. It's what happens. I'm just saying, in the context of the game, he clips that in. It's 2-2. 10, 15 minutes left. Who knows what happens? Everton might win the game. The crowd are bouncing. We've come behind there thinking, God, they've come at us again and scored. You don't know what happens. But he has improved, and if he keeps getting into those areas, he will get more goals. It's as simple as that. You want him to be a penalty box centre forward. 4 in his last 3. You can't argue with that. No one can say he doesn't deserve to play, because he does. I like Moise Keane, but at the moment, playing him up, if we're playing the way we are, won't help him. If we change to a 4-3-3, like you say, then it will help him, and then thread the ball through to him. He'll be massive and will score goals. But if we're just going to play with 2 defensive midfield players, then it's not going to help. And I actually thought he'd done okay out on the right, to be honest. And he was running at them, he was causing them an issue. You want to get him, like Richarlison, closer to the goal. It's no good having our 2 lads who might put the ball in the net miles away from the lad who's knocking things down. You've got to get them round him. But it didn't go in. Ederson's made a brilliant save, and then they break again and they get a 3rd goal, which again is a bit strange the way Pickford chooses to save it. He goes with his feet. Now I don't know. Listen, he might have just had to make that.
I think it was more to do with the fact that Mahrez just waltzed through.
Mahrez drops the shoulder, and Keane and Dean fall on their arse.
Still trying to find them now, aren't they?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. by the two.
It was great that Mahrez decided to have his best ever game for Man City.
Oh, we won't play like that again.
We made it easy though, didn't we? Let's keep pushing him in on his left.
He played really well.
He was good, but we should have pushed him out onto his right foot, and we didn't.
The whole game, it was strange. But no, I agree. I think
at that point, though, we were throwing caution to the wind.
Yeah,
we were looking for the equalizer,
and
they got it because they're a great team.
Yeah.
You know, they're a great team, and they can score goals for fun. But again, you know, you do look at it and think. But
again, that's fractions, isn't it? The balls.
But again, what annoyed me a little bit is that when Keane came on, he's got chalk on his boots, and you're like, why didn't we have Keane, Dom, really close to each other? And he was on the left at that point, was it with Charles? Why weren't those three of them really narrow?
And by the way, that's his position.
Do you think?
I do.
I think he's best.
He cuts in and he's got the vision and he picks out some good passes.
I think we need Bernard out there for me. That's the issue. We haven't got Bernard.
I think that three could work.
But the three could work, and I think you could interchange, and you know, Keane would be good over that side cutting him. But I just think if you're gonna, you mentioned it before, we didn't say it on it, but the one that's not in and Dom just flicks it on for a Wobie who's running on.
Yeah.
That's the tactic we should have been using. Those last 20 minutes, even and definitely when it went 2-1, we should have said to Moise Keane, go and stand within 5 yards of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right, and say, let's start knocking it, and you run on. Make them have to think about something different, because I know you're worried about them going wide, but it's about making them worry. If you play we'll go on to this in a minute, if you play your three men right up front, they can't commit men forward. They can if they want to.
Mendy and Fernandinho.
No, if they want to put their men forward and leave 3v2 at the back for us, so be it. Let them. They won't. They'll make sure it's 4v3. But
let's
they scored the goal, and the way Everton's luck is at the moment, you know, when it's the bar and goes in, it could have hit the bar and come out, because Pickford then makes a save when it comes back. But it goes in, you know, and City, that's what the brilliance are, aren't they? Once it went 3-1, it was done and dusted, and they played the time out, and they're a fantastic side, and you'd have to say that. But you know, let's talk about
Coleman's numbers.
Coleman's
let's just have
numbers
a
from the game, because you mentioned them before. 66 touches, 1 assist, 28 successful passes, successful forward passes 12, you know, much improved from him. Successful attack and third passes 7, 85% passing accuracy. Successful dribbles is good until you see where they are. 7 out of 8 were in our half.
Yeah, and if Joe was really doing this, heat maps. Some start having heat maps.
Yep.
No, to be fair, Seamus Coleman had a better game.
Yeah, he did.
Right, but again, and this was it's not a criticism of him as such, but we've got to start having the fullbacks playing a lot higher up, and I just don't think Seamus Coleman can do that anymore. But if you're going to play with a real 4-3-3, you can't have your forwards playing as your wide men. Your full-backs have to play as your wide man. And it's as simple as that. Yeah. And they have to be able to do the job where they can get up and down. And if they can't, then I'm afraid they're not ready, or they're not any use for the modern game, for the top to play in the top 6. Your full-backs now have to be players you can play up all day. And I think that was the problem with Dean on this game. If he was ill and he was having, you know, wasn't able to get forward enough. You've got to have it so your front three are like Cities, where you can come in and out, and don't have to worry about the wide men. So as much as Seamus has played well and he's assisted the goal and all the rest of it, you've got to have a right back now who can get up and down, and that's got to be the next area for Everton. So it's great that he's improved. It's great that he's had a good game, but it doesn't necessarily help the way we want to play.
I think he had a good game, didn't he, because of the way we were playing.
Yeah.
Because we were sat deeper, you know, so he's managed to look a little bit better. But the teams we need to break down.
If you look at spark as well for us, he got
energy. He was his best performance of the season. It was. If you look at where he done his best work, that was in our half. He completed that one cross out of 3, which was the goal, which he created the chance for the goal, which is fine. You know, you can't say that, but his dribbles 7 out of 8 were in outside our penalty area, not in the final third. So the dribbles look great because he did complete that many, but they were in our half, not City's half, which is where you need them, exactly like you said. But the impact of having Luca Dean being ill was that we attacked down the right-hand side 47% of the time and only 28% down the left. And it's normally our wings are the big ones. You could see Luca Dean's like average position was the halfway line,
Yeah.
when normally it's higher up because he does play higher, and that was a result of him obviously not being well enough to do doggies all day and get up and down, and that's, you know, Mahrez had a good game and done well, but I still think part of that was because Luca Dean wasn't on it, because he you know,
he was. That's his worst game for, I think, in an Everton shirt, isn't it? I think. Probably.
He was on. Onto the manager. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the manager. It was a much improved. Well, it was a better display from Everton. There was a lot of heart in it. There was still some fundamental issues which he might need. Well, he does need to correct. Let's be honest. But let's talk about the formation. At the weekend, you know, I think all of us feel that we probably should have played 4-3-3 and gone at them, particularly with the illness going round. So the energy levels probably weren't as high as what they could have been. But he's played 2 defensive midfield players. I haven't really got a problem for this game because I think it was accepted. You knew kind of what we were going to do.
Yeah.
But if we move away from this game for a minute, that 2 defensive midfield players doesn't need to be employed in, I would suggest, 80 to 90% of the games we play in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think talking off camera, I think we all agree that 4-3-3, you know, City are playing it, Liverpool are playing it, a lot of the best teams in Europe are playing it. Okay, we're not going to play it to that level, but it's a starting point, isn't it? You know, and for me, I just want to see a manager put his philosophy on the team. What does he want? And pick the players to fit what he wants, not the other way around. It's becoming tedious now, you know. It's.
Well, I mean, listen, you know, we give our opinions on it all the time, and I've defended them when I feel as though he needs defending, and other times I criticise him if I think he needs criticising. Ped's probably slightly more critical than what I am, but that's fine. Everyone's got. So how do you see it?
Probably somewhere in between, both where your opinions are when I've seen the videos and what you both think, and you know, I want it to work.
I think we all want it to work.
Yeah, and I can see potential of where he can, you know, improve us and whatnot, but he's not going to unless he puts his philosophy and imprint on the team. If you're going to carry on doing what we've done under previous managers with the same personnel and the same ideas and the same philosophy, what's the point?
Can I ask you, do you feel as though we've got the players to play differently?
Yeah, 100%.
You do?
Yeah.
And do you think, this is probably more key, do you believe that he should be getting more out of the players we've got in terms of quality level?
Well, again, 100%. And I think, you know, you're talking about like Sheffield United games, Bournemouth games, and they're games whereby the quality levels that you have on the pitch, I mean, they're unquestionable. Yeah. So there's a failing there, and obviously it always moves away from the players, doesn't it? When it goes straight to the managers, and a lot of the responsibility's got to sit with the players. However, when that's continuous, it's the same last season. We performed decent against the better sides. We let ourselves down a lot of the time against the sides that we, you know, expect to be performing against, and that hasn't changed. And that's what concerns me most, is that philosophy of the players going out onto the pitch. Is it an arrogance a bit? Do we think we don't need to work as hard as them? I don't know, but whatever it is, it hasn't changed. I think we could all manage the team and put these players on the pitch and have some level of performance over some of the dross that's in this league. But I don't know. I can't see where he's going with it, and that's what I want to see. The results of the side, I can see a bigger picture if there is one to be seen, but I can't see it at the minute. I don't know what it is. I want to know what it is. I hope there is a plan, and we can all get behind it. But currently, you know, he's doing the same things, and it's a bit insane, isn't it, to keep doing the same thing? That's not working. I don't.
Well, I mean, what? Any disagree with anything?
No,
or anything
I think
to add
that. I think that he, you know, we talk about players. I think he's short on a couple of players. We know this already. The centre back issue is going to rear its head again. I think that, you know,
and that falls on Marcel Brands.
It does, and I said that on deadline day.
Yeah,
I said that on deadline day when we never got a centre back. I said it right then. I said that's an issue, and it could come back and really hurt us just not having. And it's clear that is something I think they're going to try and address in January. I really do, because I think they've got to, and it really does affect how you play. If you haven't got that insurance policy to catch, you've seen it last week. Last week at 1-0, we should have been throwing the kitchen sink at them, and we couldn't. And even though even though we couldn't, we still left the door open for them, and they scored with a little bit of pace. I think the manager. I do have sympathy for the manager in terms of he's lost players. I think his biggest problem is, and this was his biggest problem last season, is he doesn't know what his best 11 is, and he doesn't know it at the moment because he's been thrown a situation where it seems like he knows what his best 11 is on an ideal day when he's got all the players. But you've got to be able to have some kind of reaction to not having your best players. And again, it's difficult in a game like this because you are playing the Premier League champions, a fantastic football team. But last week, playing Snydland, I just think that is just one of the most baffling decisions you can ever make. And that's no slight on Snydland. I was saying this to, at the match on Saturday. Snydland's good for games like that, but he's not needed for games like Sheffield United. No. You want someone like Tom Davis in there. I don't care what people think of Tom Davis. This is a kid who hardly gets on the... And you've seen on Saturday when he came in, straight away, playing. There was a pass on. The one where he played to Sigurdsson, there was a pass on to the right. Yeah. Right? Dead obvious pass. Everyone could see it. He didn't. He played an inside ball to Sigurdsson that if he touches...
He took six men out the game.
Exactly.
With the pass.
And he tried that twice. And yes, there are times when he's a bit loose on the ball or he doesn't put enough on the ball. That's maybe because he doesn't play enough, or I thought because he's so relaxed. And I'm not saying that it just should be Tom Davis. It should, why not play Iwobi through the centre and have Bernard out wide and be a little bit different there? Why not? Why not say, we're just going to play Delph as our holding today, and we're going to play Sigurdsson and Iwobi in the middle of the park and Bernard and really have something different and have a bit of movement and that's where the problem is he's in a catch-22 situation now. He's in there I need results. Do a change the team, but he might need to change the team to get results, and that's where he has to be strong. And that's a lot of it comes on the training pitch, doesn't it? Working on stuff every day, but it's who he's got available every day.
I watch lesser teams who I consider are lesser teams quality-wise, but they all play well drilled, but they all play with that attacking intent. That's my criticism of them, is that there's not been enough variation in what we do. So we tried the Snydland thing, it didn't work. We tried it at Villa, and the midfields, him and Gomez were horrific that night at Villa, even though Everton dominated the game and their manager come out and said, I don't know how we've won and all of that. It's great, that's great if it's a one-off. But we've also heard Chris Wilder say, I don't know how we won that game. We should never have been on the pitch. Eddie Howe said it was a 50-50 game. We didn't win that either. And Snydland's played in all of those games, right? Like I said, the weekend against City, I thought he had a good game doing what he does. But when you look at the makeup now of the Premier League, it's about energy. It's about people buzzing all over the pitch. Certain teams do it better than others. City do it, Liverpool do it better than other teams. But it's still there. You watch Leicester. Leicester have got a few good players, but basically they're all buzzing around. Bournemouth buzzing around. Those kind of teams, they're not amazing, but they work hard and they're prepared to commit players forward. Crystal Palace, who, when we played them, looked awful. Okay, they could have won it at the end when we had 10 then. But the game should have been done by then. But look where they are in the league. But they've got players moving, getting forward as well. Where our midfield is so static. And our players higher up the pitch are static. There's just no movement. Now, whether that's coaching, whether it's personnel, I don't know. But it's down to Marco to get that right. And if he doesn't, it will bite him.
It's got to be down to management by this stage for me. I think you've got to... the players are going on the pitch. I think we said on the Tuesday topic last week that they're not brave enough to take a chance. And again, a lot of that is to do with the crowd. And we were the same with Barkley when we had Barkley, try something a little bit different and suddenly it's owning and groaning. But, continuing to do the same thing, passing out wide. These basic teams that we're playing, they can stop that. It's really easy.
I did hear a very interesting stat a couple of days ago. I can't remember what it was on, saying that we'd had more shots on target than any other team since the beginning of last season. Yeah. Which completely blew my mind.
Yeah, they have.
Completely blew my mind, that stat.
And Saturday was the most shots City have faced since the start of last season in a game. On target.
If you want to flip it on its head, you could simply say, well, if we had
a goal scorer,
Aubameyang, let's say, in our squad, or We had a Vardy, who we should have bought 3 years ago when we sold Rom. We should have gone to Leicester when we sold Rom and just gone, here's 50 million quid. We want him.
He was interested in coming.
Because at some point, you've just got to say, you need a centre forward and you prepare. Because we've pissed that much money up the wall. Why not go out and buy quality that you know is going to do it? They might only do it for 3 years or 2 years or whatever. They might have no sell-on fee, whatever. But if you know it's quality that's going to put the ball in the back of the net and it's going to allow the rest of your team to develop, then at some point we've got to do that. Because that ultimately is our biggest problem, is that we can't put the ball in the back of the net. And if someone's saying, well, you've had all the shots on target, then it comes down to personnel. And that's why I go back to saying what Dom before. People can moan all they want about Dom not being a good enough player. That's on the club. Marcel Brands, the board, the manager.
He's a good player, though.
Who?
Dom.
But that's not the point. The point being is that if he's not going to score 20 goals a season, he ain't going to score. And I know that, and I wave the flag for Dom all the time, but he ain't going to do it.
No,
so you've got to say at some point.
Second striker, isn't he?
But at some point you've got to say, so the club have got to say, we just need to stop wasting money on this and this and just go and do.
The problem is there isn't many around.
No, I know there isn't, and that's why you've got to spend the money. But I'm saying, ultimately, you can put it down to that being the ultimate problem. Is that if Everton had a goal scorer, you know, if Aubameyang had been available in the summer, which apparently he was for 57 million, Everton should have been smashing the door down for him. Whether he come or not, fully understand. But that's what I'm saying. It's sometimes we're going all around the houses trying to find a solution, when a solution can just be sometimes a player who can put the ball in the back of the net. And I like to think that if we'd had Rom with this team, I think we would be striving, because I think that's the thing that buys managers time.
You've got someone who can put the ball in the back of the net.
It's massive, isn't it?
Gets you out of jail.
But that stat baffles me, though.
I'm
surprised that. But also, with that stat, I bet you know, not most of them shots are coming from our striker. They'll be coming from shots outside the box, because it's not our striker missing the chances. Most of the time, our striker's pulling his hair out, doing donkey work. So I don't think it would matter if you got Aubameyang up there for not supplying.
It's a real stat, though.
But even if someone had said to me, we were in the top 6 for shots on target, I'd be saying the same thing.
But before Bournemouth, only City had conceded less than us in 2019.
Yeah.
And people tell me that our defence is horrific.
No, but I think back in the last season, we proper shored it up, hadn't we?
Yeah, but from the start of 2019, so we only really shored it up in March. We'd still had 2 months when we lost virtually every game and conceded mad goals. So it shows you that I think we're still in like the top 6 or something for it, which is berserk considering when I look at that.
I still think like the striker, I mean, it's obvious. But still, honestly, I think if you had Aubameyang playing for us with the way we play right now, make a bit of difference.
I think what his issue is the quality of chances that we make. I think Moise Keane would score a lot of goals if we made the right chances. Dom would get more, quite obviously, because you get more opportunities. But it's too many. There's just no variation. I think that's all it is. I think it's the variation.
It's different though, isn't it? I watched Aguero come on Saturday, pick the ball up 30 yards from his own goal, commit 3 players, and then get it wide and set the 3rd goal up because of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the difference, isn't it? That's what top class. Yeah. That's what a top class striker can do.
But if you all it is, and that's obviously there is. They've got 3 of them, which is why they're where they are, and Spurs have got Kane, which is why they're where they are. But if you look at an Arsenal, let's be honest, we're somehow able to hang on only because of Aubameyang and Lacazette. The others, the rest of them are bang average. If you look at Everton, I still think the midfield is the problem for Everton. I think Richarlison can score easily 15 goals. I think Dom could probably get 10. I still believe Moise Keane will get 10 this season. He hasn't scored yet, but I think he will. I think Bernard, might get 4 or 5 because he just doesn't finish well enough. Iwobi, I think, can get 6, 7, 8. But the midfield, the makeup, we don't commit players.
So dynamic, are we?
So if you're not dynamic and aren't making runs past them strikers aren't going to have space, are they? Because why would they? If you're marking me, and yet you haven't got to worry about Ped getting involved,
getting ahead of you,
then you're not gonna take your eyes off me. So in general, if you 2 are marking me and the nearest player to me is 30 yards away, if I score, you 2 have had a mare, because you haven't had to worry about anyone. The only reason I get free is because one of our midfielders joins in and you think, do a split, do a twist, and then I get away, which is what happens with City. Yeah. They have that many men, and yes, they are all brilliant, but they have that many men in and around the box that it is difficult to pick players up. So they will get goals from everywhere. Everton don't. We have the if it's Bernard and Dean, Bernard's out of the equation because he's come out to try and be the assister like P&R used to be with Baines. Yeah. He's come out to try and create the space for Dean. Dean crosses it in. You'll have Richarlison coming in round the back and you'll have Dom or Moise Keane. Gylfi will be somewhere on the edge of the box, maybe.
If you're lucky.
Maybe. Yeah. Seamus won't be anywhere else. And our two centre mids will be on the halfway line. Yeah. So you've normally got 5 men marking 2 players. So it's no worry really, no real. Don't take an Einstein to work out that unless that cross is perfection and that centre back switched off and you've allowed to go in, they're just going to head it clear.
Well, we got the one against Bournemouth, didn't we, where Calvert-Lewin come in and
because we committed
though. But the thing is that, like you said, that's in isolation, isn't it? You've got to. It's not a style of play.
How many more did we give for Dom? How many more did we throw over and he headed it just wide? No. I don't think there was any other ones. No. And that's, you said it before, we do something and then we kind of go, that worked, but don't do that again.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, keep doing the thing that works. If it doesn't work, 42 crosses the other week, sorry to reiterate it again, against Sheffield United without Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the pitch. Bringing Tosin on, which was mad.
No, even that was mad because it's like, again, it's
Dom, his ex-club, he scored the week before against Bournemouth, and he's good in the air. Put him alongside Moise Keane and go, knock them down to him. I don't know. And then Tosin scored 2 and then wasn't on the bench at Bournemouth. And then comes on the pitch the week like then, doesn't even get on against Sheffield. And he's not even in the 18 against City. So
no, it's strange. It's these things that
he might have been sick.
He might have been, to be fair. But,
or he might not find any polish for his head.
You said that.
But it's all of these things.
I've never ever seen it.
It's all of these things that I think make people question, like you are questioning a manager. Yeah. Instead of him going, right, we need to mix this up. This isn't working. We played 7 games. We've lost 4 games, and we've played Villa, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa,
and even the wins against Watford and Wolves weren't.
No, but the Wolves one was a good win because we had to react and we did do well. Watford was a crap game, but we got the game. You'll have them. You'll have a lot of them.
Wolves was an open game, I think.
And Wolves was a bit more open, so we were okay. Palace, we should have won. We missed chances. Then we could have lost it. You know, we missed opportunities. He had 2 off the line. Gylfi missed a sitter in early on. Then we could have lost it. Pickford made 2 big saves, which got us a point. But I think Saturday was probably the best performance, but then was that just because the opposition was really good and we fought? Was it a performance that you come out going, we didn't half play well there? I didn't. I come out and went, we were improved and that's better. We were better than we were last week. Didn't put a performance together. We just hung in there and we had chances.
Battled and, yeah.
And we haven't seen any kind of performance now. I don't know about you two, but we got Burnley away at the weekend, and it's like, what Everton are going to turn up? If we go to Burnley and play Schneiderlin and Delph, they're just going to eat it up all day because they're going to isolate Dom. They've got big dogs at the back.
They'll bypass them anyway.
They'll bypass it and go long to Wood and to Ashley Barnes. Now, that might favour Keane and Mina because those two are slow as well. The strikers, they got the big lads, but they're slow.
We'll make them look quick.
But what are we doing the other way?
Yeah.
You know, and we need to be, because Burnley generally play with a low block and just bang it from back to front, we're going to have to be able to move them around. Now, are you confident we're going to move them around the way City moved us? No, because if we play that midfield, that is immobile.
And one pace.
Sigurdsson, Schneiderlin, Delph. It's immobile. It's not a midfield that's going to pull people out of position. It's not a midfield that's going to break past the striker and score. You know, and that's what.
It's one that can't go through the gears, is it? As well, it's just on pace.
Gomez is massive for us, right? He's massive for Silva because he gets hold of the ball. He's strong and he's got vision and he keeps recycling it and he does it quickly, so he can move teams out of position. Without him, what's annoyed me about the manager is he hasn't tried to look for a different solution. He's left. He's gone almost back to type. And that's where, for me, where he's got to improve.
Yeah. I want to see Tom in the team a bit more, for me.
We've got to have players who want to pass the ball forward, haven't you?
And run forward.
We should be an attacking team.
Mm.
We've spent a lot of money that we shouldn't be trying to hang on in games. We should be the ones going out, and it's okay dominating the possession. But if you're not cutting teams open with the money we've spent, and we have wasted half of it, don't get me wrong, but that's the thing, you know. That's the question mark for him and for the players.
Well, yeah. Big game. It's a big game.
It's a massive game.
Especially before an international break. Pressure will all be on, won't it?
I was going to talk about Pickford, but leave it there. Big, that's it. Let's leave it there. I don't want to depress anyone. It was better, but it's still ultimately we lost. So we lost 4 out of 5 games. That's not good. Big thanks to Mike for coming in and joining us on the sofa. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Give the video a thumbs up. Get over and join us over on Patreon. And don't forget to check the link in for The Athletic as well. Paddy Boylan will be here this week as well. Check that out. Thanks for watching. Smile. We'll beat Burnley at the weekend, maybe. See you later.